Good morning, dear. Good to see you. Are you okay? Yes? Good. All right, Sada, how was your weekend? Okay. All right. So today, Sada, and everybody else, we are going to review units 7, 8, and 9. Yay! How nice, isn't it? Yes. So just to show you right in the beginning, this is a summary of Unit 7. Okay, so we will see a little bit of each one first before we start our page today, page 63, which is the second part of the review. Okay, so um, first of all, Sada, what did you have done recently? Do you remember? Oh, you had your haircut. Okay. All right. So I'm quite sure it looks great. Great. Because you're so beautiful. So when we can't do something ourselves, we ask someone to do it for us. We pay a professional or we ask a friend. So we have it done. So let's see some examples here. Hi, Shayani. Good morning. Good to see you.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, dear. All right. So, as you know, we are reviewing today Unit 7, 8, and 9. Our test is approaching. And I was just talking to Sarah, but it seems she had a problem with her connection. So, we are just reviewing the topics from each unit, Unit 7, 8, and 9. And this is the first one. So, let's see some examples from Unit 7. Okay. So here we have the use of have and get something done. Example, I cut my hair. So when I say that, it means that I cut it myself. Okay. Now, I had my hair cut. Someone else cut it for me because I don't know how to do it. Also, I can say I got my hair cut. Okay. Hi, Nayara. Good morning. Welcome. I'm going to cut my hair. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to cut it. If I say this way, it means I know how to do it and I've decided to do it. Now, the next situation, I'm going to have my haircut. I'm going to have my haircut. So someone else is going to cut it for me. I can also say, I'm going to get my haircut. I'm going to get my haircut. One is more formal than the other. Have is more formal than get. Okay? How often does he trim his beard? How often does he trim his beard? He trims it every week. So he does it. He knows how to do it. So he just goes to his mirror, stays there, and he trims his beard. Now, if I ask, for example, how often does he have his beard trimmed? How often does he have his beard trimmed? Then I'm asking how often he asks someone to do it for him. Okay. Next one. Why did she do her nails? Why did she do her nails? She did them for the party. So here we understand that she did her nails herself. She knows how to do it, and so she did it. I can't do my nails myself. I don't know how. Okay? So when I need, I have someone do my nails. Okay? Let's see now some other examples. Did you get your ears pierced? Did you get your ears pierced? Yes, I got them pierced yesterday. So I went to this piercing place or tattoo place where usually here in Brazil you get your ears pierced or your nose pierced. And I got there and I asked someone to do it for me because I can't do it myself. So I got them pierced yesterday. What do you want to have done? What do you want to have done? I want to have my hair permed. I want to have my hair permed. So, this is a typical question when you go to a hair salon. So, if you go to a hair salon or hairdresser, you get there and they can ask you, oh, what do you want to have done? All right. What service do you want to have done? So you say, oh, I want to have my hair cut, I want to have my hair permed, or I want to have my hair, I want to have some highlights, right? Many things. Okay, so this was the topic from Unit 7. We will do some exercises later on, but let's see the topic from Unit 8. Okay, before we move on, let me see if you have any questions. Do you have any questions about Unit 7? Is everything okay for you? Yes? Okay. All right. So let's move on to Unit 8. What were the topics? So here we have them. So, can you visualize the page? Yes? Okay, good. So in Unit 8, we talked about the second conditional. So, what is that? Let's see some examples. If I were in charge, I'd build a bus stop closer to here. If I were in charge, I'd build a bus stop closer to here. So here they are showing us that I'm expressing a wish for now, something I wanted to be true now at the present moment. But unfortunately, it isn't. So I'm expressing my wish, right? Oh, if I were in charge, if I were responsible for this, I'd build a bus stop closer to here because apparently the bus stop is far from his place. He needs to walk a lot. So that's his wish, right? Next one. If I had a cheaper place, I wouldn't worry about money. If I had a cheaper place, I wouldn't worry about money. So probably this person here lives in an expensive place. The rent is expensive, the maintenance is expensive. So she or he worries about money a lot. But let's imagine a different situation. Let's have um, like a perfect scenario. Oh, if I had a cheaper place, I wouldn't worry about money. That would be perfect. Okay. If the bus stop were closer, you could sleep in later. If the bus stop were closer, you could sleep in later. So, what is the reality of this person? Is the bus stop close to her place? No, it isn't. It's far away. She has to walk to the bus stop and probably a long distance. But then, this is her wish for now, right? Oh, if the bus stop were closer, oh, maybe I could sleep in later, right? So here it's someone in this case talking to a person who lives far from the bus stop. So she's saying, oh, if the bus stop were closer, you could sleep in later. So you could sleep more hours, right? But your bus stop is far away, so you have to wake up early. Okay, next one. If I lived here, I might eat out every night. If I lived here, I might eat out every night. So, this is the person from the conversation, remember, talking to her friend. Her friend lives in a nice neighborhood with lots of good restaurants around, and she likes eating out. So she says, if I lived here, I might eat out every night. So again, it's her wish, but she doesn't live there. She's only dreaming. Okay. So probably that's why she's saying I might, because it means probability. So I probably would eat out every night. Next one, it would be perfect if it had a gym. It would be perfect if it had a gym. So here it's the guy talking about his neighborhood. His neighborhood is very good, but it's not perfect. Why not? Because it doesn't have a gym. So it lacks a gym. If he wants to exercise, he has to go to another neighborhood. So here he's just dreaming. Oh, it would be perfect if it had a gym. Okay, now let's see a question. What would you do if you were the mayor? What would you do if you were the mayor? So, are you the mayor of your city? No, me neither. I'm not the mayor. So, what would you do? What changes would you make to your city if you were the mayor? Would you build maybe more hospitals? Would you open more schools? What would you do? So it's like imagining, it's a hypothetical situation. You start imagining, oh, if I were the mayor, I would put a bus stop near my place. I would make a square in my neighborhood. Okay. Answer: if I were the mayor, I would improve the job market. If I were the mayor, I would improve the job market. So here there is a small note. I would can be contracted to I'd. I'd. Okay? So here, just for us to remember and notice the structure or the form of the second conditional, we say, as you can see here, the first part we need to use first or second. I can change the order, but it's usually like this: if plus, and then after that, what do I use after the particle if? Look at the verbs. Were, had, were, lived, had. Here, were, and were again. So what verb tense is this? Very good. Simple past. Okay. So in the if particle, up actually next to the if particle or in the if clause, we use the simple past of any verb we decide to use. Okay. Now, the other clause we are going to use, let's see here. In the first one, we have I'd, wouldn't, could, might, would again, and would. So what do we usually use in the second clause? Would, or I can also alternate, I can vary that depending on the meaning. I can also use could. What is the other one? Okay, might. All right. So would, could, might, these are the most common, sorry. Okay, so here, if I were the mayor, I would, and then after that, what do I use after the modal verb? Look at the verbs: build, worry, sleep, eat out, be, do, improve. What verb form is that? Excellent. Infinitive. Okay. So after the modal verbs, I should use a verb in the infinitive form. Okay. Let me just put here. This is the structure. Okay. If plus simple past, and then the second part, I can use would, could, or might plus infinitive. Okay, so let's have an example here. Hi, Amanda. Good to see you. Good morning. Good to see you, Sarinha. Welcome back. Look, if I had more money, I would buy a car. Okay, all right. So look at the example. If I had more money, I would buy a car. Here, I can also contract. Look, I can say I'd buy a car. It's the same, okay? If I had more money, I'd buy a car. Do I have more money now? No, I don't. Can I buy a car? Mm-mm. No, I can't. But if I had more money, I'd buy a car. Okay? So that's the idea of the second conditional. All right? Do you have any questions about it? Is everything okay? Yes? We will do some exercises later on to practice. All right? Good. Can I clear my drawings? Yes? Okay. So let me save that just in case. And then Okay, now we've already seen Unit 7. Now this is a review of Unit 8, second conditional. Now let's see the topics from Unit 9. Let's see. Take a look there. Yes. So Unit 9 shows us how to use should have and would have to talk about a past situation. Let's see some examples. What should I have done? What should I have done? You should have said something. You should have said something. You shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have done that. So, as you can see here, the situation happened in the past and now we're talking about it. We're making comments. And of course, depending on what happened, we can feel sorry about it. We can feel sad, or even we can feel confused without any idea, maybe what could have happened, maybe what you could have done differently. So here you can ask for advice. You can, for example, suppose you were talking to a friend and asking your friend, what do you think? What should I have done? Okay. Or your friend can say, oh, you should have said something. You should have said something. So this is my friend giving me advice. Okay, of course, the situation is over. You can't change the situation, but now we're analyzing, we're talking about it. Or he can say, oh, you shouldn't have done that. You should now go there and apologize. Okay, say you're sorry. So you shouldn't have done that. Okay. Now let's see the use of would have done. Let's see some examples. What would you have done? What would you have done? Oh, I would have said on Chris. I wouldn't have ignored the mistake. I wouldn't have ignored the mistake. So here in the second one, I'm asking my friend what his actions would be if he were in my place, if he were in my shoes. So suppose I had a situation last night where I had an argument with my best friend, suppose, and my best friend didn't agree with me. Okay, we had a disagreement. So today I'm talking to my best friend again. I'm saying I'm sorry about last night, and I'm asking him now about the situation we talked. What would you have done? Okay, what would have been your reaction or your attitude? What would you have done in my place? Okay, I can ask that. Now, here he answered, for example, oh, I would have said something, or I would have said I'm Chris, because this is referring to the conversation on the previous page. So in this case, remember, the mother is talking to the son. The son had a problem at school where everybody called him by a different name, but his name is actually Chris. So he gets home and his mother notices that he's upset. And so she asks him, what happened? And then he says, oh, everybody called me Dave at school. And I didn't say anything. So everybody called him by the wrong name and he didn't correct them. So he asked his mother, "What would you have done?" And then she said, "Oh, I would have said, I'm Chris." Okay. I wouldn't have ignored the mistake like he did. So, did the boy ignore the mistake? Yes, he did. And he felt really bad about it because all the time his friends kept calling him Dave. Okay, guys. So we have two different situations here. One, we use to either ask for advice or give advice or even say that you're sorry about something you did and you shouldn't have done. The second one, you are asking also about, you're asking for advice, but you want to know if the person were in your place or in the situation, what this person would have done. Okay, both of them we are discussing about a past situation, something that is over. All right. So this was the topic from Unit 9. Okay, so here, back again, we had Unit 7, okay, summarized, have or get something done, okay. Unit 8, second conditional, and Unit 9, should have done, would have done. Always remember the structure here for this situation. When I use should have, right, I'm going to use the subject plus, sorry guys, should have plus what form is the verb that comes after should have. Look, here we have the examples. Done, said, and done. What form is this verb? Great. Past participle. Okay. So this is the form or the structure. Now the next one, using would have. Okay. So what do we use there? Sorry. Let me write here. Sorry, my bad here. So we use the subject plus would have. And now, what is the verb form that comes after would have? Look, done, said, ignored. Past participle again. Okay. All right. So these are the two um, structures, right? Of course, we can also use them in the negative, okay? In the negative, we say shouldn't have and then past participle. Here in the negative, we use wouldn't have, okay? Like here, I wouldn't have ignored the mistake, okay? All right, girls. So now let's go to our page to review the final part of our review, and then we will do some exercises, okay? Can I clear here? Yes? Good. Thank you. All right. So let's move on to our page now. Um, from the picture and the topic, what are they talking about? What is this article about? What do you think? Yes, very good. It's about weddings, right? So Do you like going to weddings? Do you go to wedding parties when you have a chance? Yes. Do you like wedding parties, Jayan? Yeah, me too. I love wedding parties. They're so beautiful, right? So romantic. Okay, guys. So now let's take a look at the text and try to answer some questions. Yeah, me too. Okay, let me zoom in so you can read better. Just a moment. Okay. So look at this woman here in the picture. What do you think she does? What is her job? Okay. Yes. Yes, she looks like someone who works with weddings, right? Probably she's a wedding planner. She helps people plan their wedding parties. Yeah, because a wedding is a big party. Usually, right? You invite many guests and you have to worry about the food, the decoration, um, the music. So there are many details, and you need the help of a wedding planner or wedding advisor. Okay. All right. So let's take a look here. This is, by the way, an article by Wendy Wu. Okay. So we're going to listen to the audio and read as we go. Okay. So let me just get the audio for you. As you can notice here, you have some different people, right? Here we have some messages and some replies. So it looks like a column or an article where people ask questions to the wedding advisor. Okay, so let's get the audio first.
Woo. Have your questions answered by a professional wedding planner. Click here to email Wendy or send a text to 444508. Elena, Boston.
Hi, I'm texting from the mall. I just saw a great dress to wear to my friend's wedding next week. But it's a white dress. Is that really a big no-no?
Yes, it really is a no-no. Only the bride wears white. You might upset your friend if you wore that. Also, some guests could be confused. They would wonder which person is the bride. I'd ask the store if the dress comes in another color.
JJ, Toronto.
My girlfriend told me to get my hair trimmed for our wedding. She says she'd be embarrassed if I didn't. If I look so bad now, why does she want to marry me?
Don't feel hurt, JJ. She wouldn't say it if she didn't love you. She just wants you to look your best. Anyway, it's just a little trim. She's not asking you to shave your head. 5 years from now, you'll look at your wedding photos and be grateful.
Brad, Houston.
My college roommate wants me to be in his wedding. I told him I couldn't because I had an important job interview in another city, and he was upset. Did I do the wrong thing?
I understand why you are confused. It is not an easy decision to make. Perhaps you should have explained more carefully. You could have told him about the problem and asked for his advice. That would have given him an opportunity to be generous. If I were you, I'd send an extra special gift to let him know the friendship is important.
Okay, girls. So, a lot of different situations here. So, she is really a wedding planner, and people are asking questions about the best thing to do in some situations, right? According to what happens to them. So, I will just play that one more time. And this time, I'd like you to focus on the questions here, okay? Because we are going to, after read the article, choose true or false. So here we have four statements and we need to decide. So let's take a look before we read again. Let's take a look at the statements. Number one, Wendy is an expert because she's a professional wedding planner. Is that true or false? Elena hasn't bought the white dress yet. Elena hasn't bought the white dress yet. Is it true or false? JJ's fiancé, oh sorry, my mistake guys. JJ's fiance wants his hair to be a lot shorter. JJ's fiance wants his hair to be a lot shorter. Is it true or false? And number four, Brad is upset because he can't go to his job interview. Brad is upset because he can't go to his job interview. True or false? So let's listen to. Oh, okay, guys. All right, I'm sorry about it. You know, this screen changing is confusing. So I'm really sorry because sometimes we have to keep going back and forth. So yeah, that's confusing. I'm sorry. It was my mistake. So what did I do here? I asked questions about the text. Actually, here we should decide whether it's true or false. Okay, guys? So we need to select the first one. I'm going to read again, right? Wendy is an expert because she's a professional wedding planner. Okay, Wendy is an expert because she's a professional wedding planner. Is it true or false? Number two, Elena hasn't bought the white dress yet. Elena hasn't bought the white dress yet. True or false? Number three, JJ's fiance wants his hair to be a lot shorter. JJ's fiance wants his hair to be a lot shorter. Number four, Brad is upset because he can't go to his job interview. Brad is upset because he can't go to his job interview. True or false? All right, girls. Now you can see the page, right? Okay, so I'll play once again, and then you will try to see if these statements are true or false. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, guys, so let me play that for you once again.
Page 63. Reading. Wedding worries? Text Wendy Wu. Have your questions answered by a professional wedding planner. Click here to email Wendy or send a text to 444508. Elena, Boston.
Hi, I'm texting from the mall. I just saw a great dress to wear to my friend's wedding next week. But it's a white dress. Is that really a big no-no?
Yes, it really is a no-no. Only the bride wears white. You might upset your friend if you wore that. Also, some guests could be confused. They would wonder which person is the bride. I'd ask the store if the dress comes in another color.
JJ, Toronto.
My girlfriend told me to get my hair trimmed for our wedding. She says she'd be embarrassed if I didn't. If I look so bad now, why does she want to marry me?
Don't feel hurt, JJ. She wouldn't say it if she didn't love you. She just wants you to look your best. Anyway, it's just a little trim. She's not asking you to shave your head. 5 years from now, you'll look at your wedding photos and be grateful.
Brad, Houston.
My college roommate wants me to be in his wedding. I told him I couldn't because I had an important job interview in another city, and he was upset. Did I do the wrong thing?
I understand why you are confused. It is not an easy decision to make. Perhaps you should have explained more carefully. You could have told him about the problem and asked for his advice. That would have given him an opportunity to be generous. If I were you, I'd send an extra special gift to let him know the friendship is important.
Okay, all right. So could you see all of the text now? Yes? All right. So let's check out the answers then, right? The first one, Wendy is an expert because she's a professional wedding planner. Is that true or false? Okay, good. That's true. Elena hasn't bought the white dress yet. True or false? If you see here, look. Elena from Boston. She says, "Hi, I'm texting from the mall. I just saw a great dress to wear to my friend's wedding next week, but it's a white dress. Is that a is that really a big no-no? Like something that you should never do? Wear white in a friend's wedding?" So here she is at the mall, yes, and she's sending a message, but has she already bought the dress? Oh, very good. She just saw it, right? But she hasn't bought it yet. Okay, so great. Very good, guys. She hasn't bought the white dress yet. So that's true again. Number three, JJ's fiance wants his hair to be a lot shorter than it really is. Let's see that. Look, JJ, my girlfriend told me to get my hair trimmed for our wedding. So, does his girlfriend want him to have his hair cut a lot shorter? Is that true? So here, when I say trim or get your hair trimmed, I'm just saying that you should cut your hair just a little bit. Okay, this is to trim, to trim. So here, his girlfriend told him to get his hair trimmed for the wedding. So not to cut a lot, just a little. Okay, so let's move back down. So number three is false. Okay, all right. Now the last one. Brad is upset because he can't go to his job interview. Is that why he is really upset? Is it the reason why he's upset? So let's see there. Um, my college roommate wants me to be in his wedding. I told him I couldn't because I had an important job interview in another city and he was upset. Did I do the wrong thing? So, is he really upset because he couldn't go to his job interview or to his friend's wedding? Ah, okay. So that's true. He is upset because he can't go to his, actually, he couldn't go to his friend's wedding, not his job interview. So that's false. Okay. All right, people. So there are some situations where we need sometimes help from a professional or an expert in the topic, but some decisions we know how to make them ourselves, right? But concerning weddings, there is always an etiquette that people usually follow, right? So, do you agree with the expert's advice? Do you think she gave good pieces of advice to everybody? Yes, okay. What advice would you give each person? So here, let's have an example. I think JJ's girlfriend shouldn't tell him to cut his hair. If he said something like that to her, she would be really offended. So, do you agree with that? Do you think the girl would be offended? Probably. Yes. Okay. So here in this situation, for example, in the first one, what would you have done here? Suppose you are getting ready for a friend's wedding and you have to choose a dress to go, right? So if you saw a dress to wear at this mall and the dress was white, suppose, what would you do here? What would you have done actually? Would you have bought the white dress anyway, or maybe talked to an expert or another friend to help you decide? Yes, it's always good, right? Talking to another friend, a best friend, maybe even inviting your friends to go shopping with you, right? So you can choose a dress together, or maybe a family member. Okay, that's nice. All right, guys. So after doing all that, let me just zoom out here. Okay. So we've done page 63. Do you have any questions about it? Here on this page, there are some examples of the things we learned in Unit 7, 8, and 9. But just for the sake of reviewing, let's highlight the examples, okay? So let's take a look there. Here, the first line has one. Look, have your questions answered. So let me just zoom in here, okay? So we can see that. Okay, sorry about it, guys. I just want now to highlight the examples we have here of units 7, 8, and 9, all right? So the first sentence, we have an example. Have your questions answered. Okay, so I will just highlight here. So I just saw a great dress to wear. Is that really a big no? No, nothing. Only the bride wears white. You might upset your friend. Some guests could be confused. They would wonder which person is the bride. So here we have example of unit 8, the second conditional here. Look, you might upset your friend if you wore that. Okay, so this is second conditional. Okay, some guests could be confused. Okay, another example. They would wonder, okay, which person is the bride. I'd ask the store if the dress comes in another color. So here we have an example of mixed conditional because she's saying that she would ask in her place, she would have a different attitude if the dress comes in another color. So here we have the second conditional mixed with the first conditional because she wants to know um, if there maybe are some other colors. So this is how we use, right? I don't want to get into that with you now because then you will get confused, right? But examples of second conditional, we have a lot here. If you wore a white dress, you might upset your friends. Some guests could be confused. Some guests would wonder which person is the bride, right? So many things would happen if you made that decision, okay? Let's see now the next one. My girlfriend told me to get my hair trimmed. So this is example from unit 7. Get my hair trimmed. She says she'd be embarrassed if I didn't. Second conditional here. Okay. If I look so bad now, why does she want to marry me? So this is the first conditional, right? Talking about the present. Okay. Now let's move on to the next. She wouldn't say that if she didn't love you. Good. Here we have second conditional again. All right. My college roommate wants me to be in his wedding. I told him I couldn't because I had an important job interview in another city and he was upset. Did I do the wrong thing? So far, no examples. Let's go there. I understand you are confused or why you are confused. It's not an easy decision to make. Perhaps you should have explained. Here we have example of unit 9. So here, look, perhaps you should have explained more carefully. Here, you could have told him about the problem. So these are possible situations that could have happened in the past that would have given him an opportunity to be generous. Now here she goes. If I were you, I'd send an extra. So this is the second conditional, okay? All right, guys. So here, only in this article, we have examples of the 3 units, right? Have or get something done, the second conditional, and should have, would have, to talk about a past situation. All right? Now we're done here. Okay, girls, if you want, you can print that. Let me just make it a little bigger so you can see better. Just, yeah, because now you can have an overview of the page, okay? So if you want, you can print screen or get a screenshot, right? Do you have any questions about this page? Is everything okay? Yes? All right, people. So before we go, let's take a picture and then I will show you the exercises we can do to practice those 3 structures. Okay, so let me just. So here, people, we have the exercises I showed you today. Here we have the units, okay? 7, 8, and 9. It's there. Let me show you guys again. Sorry. Look, this is our page on Google Classroom. These are the units we reviewed. And here, guys, to help you practice, I posted some extra activities, all right? So here you can see the second conditional worksheet. Another one about Unit 9 speaking we did last class. I posted the causative verb, and causative verbs get something done, have something done, and the worksheet on should have, could have, okay, or would have. Here we have everything together, I guess. Um, if we need anything else, I can post here, okay, during the week. So I hope to see you again on Thursday. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. Send me a message and I can help you. All right. So thank you, girls, for coming. Thank you so much. It was awesome. Thanks for having you. Thank you, Jayani. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Amanda. Um, thank you, Nayara. Right? Hope to see you on Thursday. Okay? Bye bye, girls. See you. Take care.